Alright guys, this is Dan. I'm going to be showing you a little bit of Kerbal Space Program tonight. This is not going to be a particularly educational video. I'm just going to kind of chronicle my attempt to get to the moon. Captain of this expedition, Lanwell Kerman. We'll see if he makes it through this in one piece or not. So, thing I always got to remember to do, this monopropellant, it's kind of a form of fuel for thrusters at the end of the mission. If you don't turn one of these tanks off, I have 3 tanks. If you don't turn one of those off, you can easily end up using it all and you will be fucked. So I'll turn on thrusters. I'm going to try and do a lot of this manually later on, but at the beginning it's just easier to do it with the stabilizers. So I'm going to throttle up, turn on stabilizers, and here we go. So this part of the mission is pretty boring. Not a lot you can do. But I got these chocolate chip cookies here, so I'm gonna amuse myself. Everything's going well so far. Looking to get to around 10,000 meters. So we're coming up on that. Here around 10,000, you want to start tilting the ship a little bit towards 90 degrees, not a ton. And as you also saw, the first stage burn out there. So ditch that and move on to the next. So now what we're doing here, if we go into the orbital map, this line represents the trajectory my ship is on. Currently would go up to the apoapsis, which is the highest point, at around 21 kilometers and crash back down into the Earth. But I'm not going to let that happen. So we want to get this, you can see it's rising. It'll continue to go faster as we get out of the atmosphere. But we want to get this to around 90 kilometers. So, again, that'll just involve a little bit of patience and watching to make sure I don't turn too far over or explode or anything like that. How do you like this? That is a marvel of engineering. Pinnacle of aerodynamicism. Alright, so our second stage burnout. Let's continue. Alright, so as you can see, this is starting to go a lot faster. So I'm going to keep an eye here. I'll slow it down pretty soon. "70 kilometers is kind of the minimum that you can maintain an orbit at, but I like to go up to like 90 or 100 just to be safe. So right now, we've got this trajectory. As long as, you don't have to run the engine, as long as you just let it go, you'll go through that orbit. I'll go up to here, 92 kilometers, crash back down. But what you want to do is make sure you get into a circular orbit, and I'll show you how you do that. And the best way to do it is to speed up time a little bit. You don't want to overshoot it, which I've done many times. Wait till you get to just about the apoapsis, and there you want to turn towards this yellow marker, which is called prograde. And if you burn here or accelerate, you'll expand your orbit, and this is directly perpendicular, so I'm kind of trying to go around the Earth Alright. And there's our destination. Going the wrong way. So this will become circular pretty soon. And you'll see here as the orbit starts to take form, you'll see another little symbol pop up which says PE for the periapsis, which is the lowest point of the orbit. And cutting it kind of close there, but kept it at 70, so that'll do. Now, if you want to be perfect and do advanced maneuvers, you want to have a pretty circular orbit. But this is clearly not. The highest is 221, lowest is 73, so it's definitely not circular, but it really doesn't matter for this. So there's the moon. As you can see, I've already got a probe on it. So the best way to do this, actually the best time to do it would have been just now, but I'm going to play it safe and not, I'll wait until I go around. So I'm going to speed up time. Oh no, I'm going the wrong way. So you want to kind of look the way that your ship is facing. Just keep an eye out, and as soon as you see that moon come up over the horizon right there, this is when you want to go. So you want to turn to prograde again. Careful, that one has an X. That's retrograde. It's the opposite of what you want to do. I'm going to lock in here and just burn. And what this does is, I'm here, expands the orbit in that direction. And you'll see it start to happen. The apoapsis is just going up and up. And the moon, we're going to meet it right about here, if all goes according to plan. We're running a little low on fuel. I'm a little concerned about that. We'll see how that goes. But again, this will start to speed up. And I'm not going to need a ton of fuel when I get to the moon itself. Alright. So here soon, this is going to start to go really quickly. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. But what you're looking for is it'll turn purple, which means kind of signifying that you're going to meet the moon. There it is, there it is. Perfect. So this is, the purple orbit kind of signifies what I'm doing. And the yellow orbit is signifying that when I get there, the moon's going to be there. So then it'll start to affect, its gravity will start to affect me, and I'll start kind of going around it. But it's going to take a long time to get to the moon. So we'll speed up to like 1,000 times here. And as you can see, leaving the orbit of Kerban, Earth, heading off towards the moon. Going 1000x there, so you gotta be real careful with that. You could just whip off into space and be gone forever. So as soon as I hit that yellow, all this stuff's gonna disappear and turn into a different blue or purple line. Whatever color, yeah, blue. So this is kind of representing, my orbit around the moon. So this is the low point. The closest I'm going to get to the moon is 757 kilometers. And then I'm not close enough for the moon to really affect me, so I'm just going to kind of bend a little bit and shoot off into space forever. So we don't want that. The way to stop that from happening, get to periapsis. Again, you got to be really careful. Alright, so when you get to about periapsis, you want to turn your ship retrograde this time. And if you burn facing retrograde, that, to put it simply, kind of slows your ship down. So you'll see I'm getting closer and closer. This is just kind of wrapping around, and it'll turn circular. There we go. And this orbit is huge. Do not need that big of an orbit. And that ran out of fuel. So I've got one more stage, the lander, with fuel on it. So I'm going to have to kind of come in hard here. We'll see how I can do. I don't think, what you'd want to do is get this orbit down really low, like 10, 20 kilometers, and then land from there. But I don't think I'm going to have enough fuel for that, so I'm just going to kind of burn at the periapsis, burn retrograde, which will just bring this down until I crash on the planet, which is probably the best thing to do at this point. And actually, I'm going to want to land on the kind of the bright side of the moon, facing the Earth, so I can get a nice view. So I'm going to let myself orbit around. I'm going really fast because this orbit is just massive, just very far away. Alright, so again here, I'm going to flip the ship around, face the other way. Alright, drop my last. Well, now we're really in the shit, I gotta tell you. Yeah. I've got nothing but this monopropellant. I've clearly made a terrible mistake in my construction of this craft. I don't know that this is going to happen. We're going to try using just monopropellant, but that's going to be quite difficult. I'll see what I can do for you guys. It's coming down pretty quick. I don't know. I could go either way on this one. I guess I still got my cookies, right? Just got a better view here. Alright. So as it is, gonna land right there. That's about as good as we're gonna do. This could totally not work, it totally could work, so we'll see. We're gonna be coming in for a crash landing, essentially. So we're gonna speed it up real fast. Alright, so we're at about 30. kilometers now, so we're gonna have to start slowing down because I'm going 677 miles per hour, or meters per hour per second, excuse me. So I can start to slow it down. But I'm gonna wait a little longer. And I might have waited too long. We'll see. This is probably not gonna go well. Yep. This is not gonna, I'm gonna crash. But hey guys, thanks for coming on this journey with me. I appreciate it. Oh boy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lanwell. Oh, I'm sorry.